There are times in life when it feels like you're drowning, not due to your own choices, but because of the people you keep close. Deep inside, you sense that something's off, a persistent ache in your soul. You might try to ignore it, hoping things will improve, but some individuals simply aren't meant to be in your life, and holding on to them can drain you more than you realize. Every day you invest parts of yourself, your time, energy, love, and trust into relationships. But what happens when those contributions go unappreciated? You've been patient and forgiving, but the result has often been exhaustion and a feeling of inadequacy. Life is too short to remain in the shadows of those who diminish your light, yet many cling to toxic relationships out of fear of loneliness, judgment, or regret. Ask yourself, what's scarier, letting go of those who harm you, or allowing them to keep you trapped in their chaos? You deserve peace and the freedom to breathe without the weight of someone else's negativity. Sometimes the toughest decisions lead to the most significant growth. Letting go of people, especially those who have been in your life for years, can feel like losing a part of yourself. But staying in draining relationships can cost you your self-worth. Each time you allow disrespect, you teach yourself that this is what you deserve, a dangerous lie. Wanting to cut ties with people who hurt you doesn't make you weak. It's an act of courage and self-love. It's about reclaiming your life and happiness. You've spent too long pouring into others, hoping for change. But if they haven't recognized your worth by now, they probably won't. By holding on to the wrong people, you block the opportunity to meet those who will love and respect you unconditionally. Walking away is not about punishment. It's about healing and making space for healthier connections. Consider the energy wasted on misunderstandings and hurtful moments. Imagine a life free of that noise, clear, calm, and purposeful. Your boundaries are essential for your well-being. When they are repeatedly disrespected, it chips away at your self-respect. People who care will strive to understand and honor your needs. Disregarding your boundaries shows a lack of respect for you. You shouldn't have to tolerate mistreatment, as it only depletes you over time. Each boundary you let slide weakens your position and opens the door for further violations. Choosing to enforce your boundaries is an act of self-love. It signals that you deserve respect and will not settle for less. It's crucial to act swiftly when you notice someone crossing those lines. Otherwise, the damage they cause can seep into all areas of your life. You have the right to prioritize your peace and surround yourself with those who uplift you, not drag you down. Remember, choosing to cut ties is not an act of cruelty. It's a liberating step towards emotional freedom. Your boundaries are sacred and non-negotiable. By protecting your peace, you reclaim your life and open the door to relationships that nourish you. In conclusion, cutting ties with those who disrespect you is not the end. It's the beginning of a journey towards self-respect and healing. Embrace the freedom that comes with letting go, and choose to surround yourself with people who recognize your worth. This is your life, your moment to rise, to let go, and to never look back. You are worth it. Being surrounded by chronic negativity can lead to stress, anxiety, and even physical fatigue, as your body reacts to this constant pressure. Over time, this can cause burnout and diminish your overall quality of life. It's hard to stay hopeful and motivated when negativity drags you down, no matter how strong your own positive mindset is. When you're frequently exposed to someone's pessimism, it can make you feel demotivated and unsure about your path. This is why it's essential to distance yourself from negative influences. To thrive, you need an environment that nurtures your growth, not one that stifles it. Often, those who are negative may not even realize the harm they cause, mistaking their pessimism for honesty or realism. They project their fears onto you, which can feel burdensome. Instead of engaging in meaningful conversations, interactions may become heavy and draining, filled with complaints and negativity. You shouldn't have to carry the weight of someone else's gloom. While you might stay with the hope of bringing light into their life, the truth is, if they're committed to their negativity, your positivity won't change them. You'll only end up feeling drained and disillusioned. Chronic negativity can suffocate your joy, making it hard to appreciate the good around you. You may hesitate to share your successes, fearing they'll be dismissed. Relationships should uplift you, not weigh you down. When negativity becomes a pattern, you might feel obligated to stay and support them, but at what cost to your own well-being? Stoicism teaches us to prioritize our inner peace. Cutting ties with those who refuse to see beyond their negativity isn't a failure. It's a necessary step for your own health. It doesn't mean you didn't try hard enough. Instead, it acknowledges that protecting your well-being often requires distancing yourself from those who drain your energy. By doing so, you create space for positivity to flourish, allowing joy and creativity to thrive. You reconnect with what brings you peace and purpose. Without the constant drain of someone else's complaints, the world becomes brighter, opportunities seem more attainable, and your energy is renewed. Removing chronic negativity helps you realize how much it was holding you back. It was not just an emotional burden, it obstructed your potential. Letting go of this negativity allows you to focus on what truly matters. One of the most liberating aspects of this change is the clarity it brings. Without the noise of complaints and doubts, you can start to hear your own voice again, reconnecting with your passions and goals. Once you distance yourself from negativity, you may find that you become more patient, optimistic, and resilient. Challenges seem more manageable, and setbacks feel less daunting. Cutting ties with negativity is not about abandoning others. It's about choosing yourself and valuing your peace, happiness, and growth over the emotional toll of someone else's negativity. Prolonged exposure to negativity can weigh heavily on your mindset, leaving you feeling demotivated and uncertain about your path. This is why Stoicism encourages distancing yourself from negative influences. To truly thrive, it's essential to create a supportive environment that fosters growth rather than one that stifles it. Negative individuals often don't recognize the impact of their behavior. They may see themselves as realistic or honest, but are, in fact, projecting their own fears and insecurities. This projection can feel like a burden, forcing you to tread carefully in conversations to avoid triggering complaints or negativity. Over time, interactions can become draining, replacing meaningful exchanges with a sense of heaviness. Living under the weight of someone else's negativity is not your responsibility. Many people stay in such situations hoping they can change the other person's outlook, but the reality is that if someone is deeply entrenched in negativity, your positivity won't shift their perspective. Instead, it will likely leave you feeling exhausted and disillusioned. Chronic negativity can obscure your ability to appreciate the good in your own life. You might hesitate to share your successes for fear they will be dismissed or downplayed. Relationships should be sources of support, not anchors weighing you down. If negativity becomes the defining trait of a relationship, it distorts the balance and can jeopardize your well-being. Stoicism teaches us to prioritize our inner peace, which often requires letting go of those who refuse to see beyond their negativity. Holding on to such relationships can stifle your growth and erode the joy you've worked to cultivate. You cannot find brightness amid someone else's unresolved issues. Remember, walking away from someone who embodies chronic negativity is not a failure. It's an act of self-preservation. By distancing yourself, you create space for positivity to thrive, allowing joy, creativity, and hope to flourish. As you do this, the world can start to feel brighter, and opportunities may seem more attainable. In time, you will see how much negativity held you back. It wasn't just an emotional weight. It was a barrier to your potential. Cutting ties releases you from that burden, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. One of the most freeing aspects of removing chronic negativity from your life is the clarity it brings. Without the constant barrage of complaints and doubts, you can hear your own voice again, reconnecting with your passions and goals. It's like emerging from a fog into an open field of possibilities. After distancing yourself from negativity, you may find yourself more patient, optimistic, and resilient. Challenges may not seem as daunting, and setbacks can feel less permanent. Cutting ties is not about abandoning someone. It's about choosing yourself. Your peace, happiness, and growth are worth more than the weight of their complaints. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the idea that we must nurture our inner world for balance and harmony. Letting go of chronic negativity is vital for living in alignment with your true values. You have the right to choose who enters your life and to walk away from those who consistently bring negativity. By committing to this choice, you surround yourself with individuals who uplift you and celebrate your successes. Life is too short to spend it with those who view the world through a lens of negativity. By stepping away from that darkness, you choose a brighter, more fulfilling future. The space you create by cutting ties with negativity is where joy and success can bloom. Your energy is valuable. Don't waste it on those who fail to recognize its worth. Choose positivity, growth, and most importantly, choose yourself. As you detach from chronic negativity, the path ahead becomes clearer and more focused on your well-being. However, another subtle threat to your peace is manipulation and control, often disguised as concern or love. Recognizing manipulation is crucial, but acting to remove it requires strength. Manipulation operates like psychological warfare. It often begins with seemingly harmless suggestions that evolve into controlling behaviors. Manipulators exploit your vulnerabilities, creating a sense of dependency that erodes your sense of self. Stoicism teaches the importance of personal autonomy, emphasizing that external influences shouldn't dictate your inner state. Manipulators may mask their control as care, making you doubt your own decisions. This erodes your self-confidence and can lead to isolation from friends and family, reinforcing their grip on you. In such relationships, you may find yourself constantly adjusting your behavior to avoid conflict, which takes a toll on your mental health. Stoicism advocates for living authentically and in accordance with your true nature. Manipulation, in contrast, forces you to suppress your true self. This creates internal conflict as you struggle to reconcile your values with the reality of the relationship. Manipulators are skilled at distorting reality, making you doubt your perceptions and even blame yourself for any issues. They twist situations to their advantage, and it's crucial to act quickly when you recognize manipulation. The longer you remain entangled, the more difficult it becomes to break free. Removing manipulators from your life is about reclaiming your power and asserting your right to make your own choices. Stoicism teaches that inner peace comes from within, but manipulation disrupts that peace. Only by cutting ties with the source of control can you begin to heal and rediscover your true self. Manipulators may try to guilt you into staying, claiming you're abandoning them or overreacting. However, these statements are just another form of control designed to keep you from leaving. You're not responsible for the emotions or actions of others. Leaving a manipulative situation isn't abandonment. It's a choice to protect yourself. Breaking free from manipulation requires both strength and clarity. You need to recognize the relationship for what it is, a one-sided dynamic where your needs are consistently ignored in favor of someone else's desires. The manipulator won't prioritize your well-being because their focus is on maintaining control. Stoicism teaches us to act based on reason, not emotion, and the rational choice in a manipulative relationship is to leave. It can be tough to break free, especially if the person has been in your life for a long time. But just because a relationship is long-standing doesn't justify allowing control over your life. Stoicism values the quality of relationships over their length. A short, respectful connection is far more valuable than a long one built on manipulation. The process of removing a manipulator from your life can be painful. It involves facing difficult truths and realizing that the person you trusted may never have had your best interests at heart. While this is a hard truth to accept, the pain is temporary, and the peace that follows, freedom from someone else's control, is worth it. Manipulators might not let go easily. They may try to re-enter your life using guilt or promises of change. But once you recognize their patterns, resisting their attempts becomes easier. You can see through their tactics, and Stoicism encourages you to stand firm. Your peace is too valuable to risk. Removing a manipulator is a powerful act of self-respect. It asserts that your life, thoughts, and choices belong to you alone. Stoicism teaches us to protect our inner world, and manipulation threatens that peace. By cutting ties, you safeguard your autonomy. After breaking free from manipulation, you'll likely feel an indescribable relief. You won't have to second-guess your actions or filter your words through someone else's expectations. You can live authentically and pursue your goals without the burden of their control. Stoicism also teaches that virtue can't thrive in a manipulative environment. Manipulators push you to compromise your values for their benefit. By cutting them out, you create space for virtue to flourish, allowing your personal growth to flourish without hindrance. Accepting that a manipulator may never change is one of the hardest parts of this journey. You might hope they will recognize their mistakes, but Stoicism reminds us that we can't control others, only ourselves. Waiting for a manipulator to change is futile. The only thing you can control is your decision to leave. Even if a manipulator believes their actions are justified, it doesn't change the harm caused by their behavior. You have the right to protect yourself from that harm. After breaking free, it's natural to feel a sense of loss. It's okay to mourn the relationship, even if it was unhealthy. However, true peace comes from letting go of attachments that no longer serve you. By releasing the manipulator, you're not just freeing yourself from control, you're also shedding the emotional weight of the relationship. Your journey toward peace and autonomy is ongoing, but each step away from manipulation brings you closer to that goal. Removing those who seek to control you affirms your commitment to living in alignment with your values and desires, reclaiming your most essential asset, your peace. Once you free yourself from manipulation, it feels like starting a new chapter where you regain your autonomy and balance. However, another damaging force can be even harder to overcome: broken trust. Trust is the foundation of any relationship, and when it shatters, the damage runs deep. It can take years to build trust and moments to destroy it, making it nearly impossible to restore the same connection once it's broken. Understanding why broken trust is a deal breaker is vital. Stoicism provides timeless wisdom in recognizing when to walk away from dishonesty, protecting your integrity and peace of mind. Trust binds relationships, whether with friends, family, or partners. Without it, there's no solid foundation. When someone lies or deceives you, it shakes the core of your relationship and leaves you feeling vulnerable and exposed. The impact of betrayal extends beyond the initial hurt. It can lead to a lack of security and openness in the relationship, creating a climate of doubt and suspicion. Stoicism teaches us to value integrity. When trust is broken, it compromises both the betrayer's integrity and your own, if you choose to stay. The longer you remain in a relationship with broken trust, the more you may doubt your judgment and ability to trust again. Attempting to rebuild trust can feel like an uphill battle. Even if you forgive, the shadow of betrayal lingers. You may find yourself questioning every action and word, leading to emotional exhaustion. In a relationship marked by broken trust, communication can become strained. You may start to withhold your feelings and love, turning a once supportive connection into a battleground of unexpressed emotions. Stoicism reminds us that trust must be earned and maintained. When someone breaks your trust, they've shown a lack of respect for the bond you share. Living without trust stifles intimacy and connection. Even if you go through the motions of a relationship, the emotional bond weakens, leaving you constantly protecting yourself from future betrayal. The scars from broken trust can be long-lasting, and even if the betrayer expresses remorse, healing takes time. The ripple effects of betrayal cause you to question everything about the relationship. You may wonder if there were other lies you missed, and this uncertainty can make you feel like the entire foundation was built on deception. Stoicism teaches us to distance ourselves from those who compromise our values. Integrity, honesty, and trust are essential for healthy relationships, and their violation is a clear sign that the relationship is no longer serving you. Staying in a relationship with broken trust leads to more pain and disappointment. While it's tough to decide when to leave, focusing on what you can control, your actions and boundaries, can guide you. You can't change someone else's honesty, but you can determine how much of yourself you give to someone who has already shown they don't value your trust. Once trust is lost, it rarely returns to its original form. You may rebuild something resembling trust, but the underlying cracks will always remind you of the betrayal. Just when you think you're moving forward, something may trigger the past pain, sending you spiraling back into doubt and hurt. Staying in a relationship where trust is broken can lead you to overcompensate, trying to fix what can't be repaired through effort alone. Trust requires a fundamental change in the person who betrayed it, and that change often doesn't happen. Remaining in such a relationship can feel like walking on shaky ground, where uncertainty erodes your mental health and emotional stability. Stoicism teaches that peace comes from within, but it's hard to find that peace in a relationship built on dishonesty. The person who broke your trust might seek forgiveness, and you may grant it, but forgiveness doesn't erase the damage or the emotional turmoil caused by betrayal. Ultimately, Stoicism encourages us to let go of relationships that no longer align with our values, even after forgiveness. Sometimes, the greatest act of self-respect is walking away from someone who has broken your trust, asserting that you won't tolerate dishonesty in your life. Leaving may be painful, but staying in a relationship without trust is far more damaging over time. When trust is broken, it doesn't just affect the relationship, it impacts your sense of self. You may start to doubt your judgment, making it harder to trust anyone in the future. However, Stoicism teaches us to learn from experiences without letting them define us. The betrayal may have been painful, but it doesn't diminish your worth. A relationship without trust lacks direction and stability. You might drift aimlessly, lost in doubt and confusion. Stoicism teaches that we must navigate our lives with purpose and clarity, but broken trust makes that nearly impossible. The only way to regain control is to let go and chart a new course. Recognizing when a relationship is no longer beneficial requires bravery, especially when it involves stepping away from someone you once trusted. This courage is essential for your personal growth and well-being. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of inner peace, which may mean ending relationships that disrupt that tranquility. Trust is delicate, and once it's broken, it's seldom fully restored. While you may repair some cracks, scars remain. Each encounter with someone who has betrayed you can serve as a painful reminder of their dishonesty, making it impossible to return to the previous dynamic. Leaving a relationship marked by broken trust not only shields you from further hurt, but also opens the door to healthier, more fulfilling connections based on mutual respect and honesty. Ultimately, trust is foundational in relationships, and when that foundation crumbles, the entire structure is at risk. Trying to maintain a relationship without trust can become increasingly burdensome. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what truly matters, with trust being a key pillar in relationships. If trust is compromised, it's often a sign that the relationship has run its course, urging us to move on. Letting go of broken trust is liberating, signaling that you refuse to accept dishonesty and prioritize your peace and integrity. Although this decision is tough, it paves the way for a life rooted in authenticity and trust. Moving away from a relationship where trust is lost can feel like shedding a heavy burden, creating space for healthier interactions. However, as you progress, be aware of the lurking dangers of envy and jealousy. These emotions, though subtle, can undermine even the strongest relationships. Envy and jealousy can indicate deeper issues of resentment and competition. Stoicism teaches that these feelings are significant red flags, suggesting that a relationship is no longer supportive of your growth. They are destructive forces that, if ignored, can damage both the person experiencing them and the relationship itself. Often when someone feels envious, it's because they see something in you, like success or happiness, that they desire but believe they cannot achieve. Instead of celebrating your achievements, they may respond with resentment or passive-aggressive behavior, which can create an undercurrent of tension. In relationships marked by envy, you may sense that a once supportive friend now feels distant or hostile. Their compliments may lose sincerity, and you might feel pressured to downplay your successes to avoid triggering their insecurity. Jealousy, on the other hand, stems from fear of losing what you have. It often manifests as possessiveness and constant questioning, fostering an environment where you feel scrutinized. Stoicism reminds us that healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect rather than control. Jealousy indicates a lack of trust and can lead to manipulation, where the jealous person tries to undermine your confidence under the guise of concern. This manipulation erodes your self-belief, leaving you drained and frustrated. Both envy and jealousy create a scarcity mindset, leading to competition instead of cooperation. In a healthy relationship, both parties can thrive, but in one marked by jealousy, one person's success may feel threatening to the other. This competitive atmosphere can erode the foundation of the relationship. Recognizing the signs of these destructive emotions is vital. When envy and jealousy enter the picture, they can lead to manipulation, constant validation seeking, and even bitterness. The envious person may resent your successes, while jealousy can lead to controlling behaviors, isolating you from friends and family. This is a clear indicator that the relationship has turned toxic. Stoicism encourages us to seek out relationships that foster growth and support, while envy and jealousy only distract from this goal. The erosion of trust and mutual respect can be profound, highlighting the necessity of cutting ties with those who introduce these negative feelings into your life. By doing so, you choose to protect your own well-being and seek out connections that uplift rather than undermine you. When it comes to our self-worth, it's essential to remember that our value should not depend on others' opinions. However, when someone repeatedly undermines your confidence, it can be challenging to hold on to that belief. You may start to doubt yourself and seek validation from someone who isn't truly supportive. In relationships that diminish your self-esteem, you might notice that your thoughts are often dismissed or ridiculed. This can manifest in interruptions, talking over you, or ignoring your contributions entirely, leading you to feel that your voice is irrelevant. Over time, this can cause you to stop speaking up, believing that what you have to say isn't worthwhile. The damage done by someone undermining your self-worth can ripple into other areas of your life, making you question your abilities at work, in friendships, and with personal goals. This decline in confidence can prevent you from pursuing things that once brought you joy, trapping you in a cycle of self-doubt. Stoicism encourages a strong sense of self that isn't easily swayed by others, but constant negativity can make that difficult. The person undermining you may also engage in comparisons, constantly pointing out how others surpass you, fostering feelings of inadequacy. Additionally, they may undermine your decisions, making you second-guess yourself and rely more on them, even when their influence is detrimental. It's often subtle at first, with criticism masked as concern, keeping you feeling small and dependent. You may also find yourself isolating from friends or interests, deepening your reliance on this negative influence. Recognizing when someone is damaging your self-worth requires self-awareness. You need to evaluate if the relationship genuinely supports your growth. If you often feel anxious or inadequate around this person, it's a sign that the relationship is not beneficial. Surrounding yourself with those who uplift you is crucial, as those who consistently undermine your confidence hinder your personal growth. Breaking free from such relationships is challenging, as you might feel you need their approval to succeed. However, you are capable of more than you realize, and your worth comes from within, not from their judgment. This process takes time and self-compassion. By focusing on your values and principles, you can rebuild your self-esteem and recognize your true worth. Cutting off negative influences is not just about escaping their negativity, it's about reclaiming your life and aligning with your authentic self. While moving forward, be aware of another potential pitfall: people who exploit your kindness. Some may take advantage of your generosity, using your compassion for their own benefit. Stoicism teaches us to balance kindness with wisdom, ensuring that our goodwill isn't taken for granted. Exploitation can start subtly, with small favors that gradually escalate into more significant demands. You may find yourself constantly giving while your needs are ignored. This unbalanced dynamic can lead to feelings of exhaustion and resentment. In relationships where your kindness is exploited, lack of reciprocity becomes evident. You might do numerous favors, but when you need help, they're nowhere to be found. This imbalance signals that your kindness is being used rather than appreciated. Exploiting kindness often involves manipulation, making you feel guilty for not helping. Setting boundaries is crucial in protecting your energy and time. It's vital to recognize that you have the right to prioritize your well-being. This exploitation can leave you feeling drained, making it harder to focus on your goals. Instead of feeling fulfilled, you may feel burdened by your kindness. It's essential to acknowledge that true compassion should stem from strength, not obligation. You might notice that some only reach out when they need something, which shows they see you as a resource rather than a true friend. Emotional labor can also become one-sided, with you providing support while they remain unavailable in your times of need. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of protecting your peace. Recognizing when your kindness is being exploited allows you to take action, whether through setting boundaries or distancing yourself from those who don't respect your generosity. Over time, exploitation can erode your self-worth and confidence, leading you to doubt the value of your kindness. Remember, your worth is inherent, not based on how much you give to others. Kindness should never come at the expense of your own well-being, and you have the right to set boundaries. People who exploit kindness often rely on your fear of confrontation, taking advantage of your kindness without consideration. Stoicism teaches that we must confront these situations, stand up for ourselves, and protect our inner peace. This may involve reassessing financial contributions or emotional labor, ensuring you aren't left feeling used. Recognizing these dynamics can be painful, but it's an important step towards prioritizing your well-being. Understanding that true kindness should come from strength allows you to protect yourself against those who would take advantage of your generosity. Stoicism emphasizes acting with reason rather than emotion, and encourages us to protect ourselves from those who take advantage of our kindness. When someone repeatedly exploits your generosity, it can lead to feelings of resentment and frustration, not just toward them but also toward yourself for allowing it to continue. Stoicism teaches that we must take responsibility for our own well-being, which includes setting boundaries to safeguard our peace. This is not selfish, it's a demonstration of self-respect. As you become aware of when your kindness is being exploited, it's vital to take action. This might involve difficult conversations, clearly defined boundaries, or even severing ties with those who do not respect your kindness. Prioritizing your inner peace and distancing yourself from those who would exploit you is a way to honor your self-worth and build relationships rooted in mutual respect. However, another subtle threat can emerge: gossip and slander, which can tarnish not only your relationships but also your reputation. Such behavior often appears innocuous, but can deeply undermine your integrity. Stoicism teaches us the importance of maintaining our character by avoiding those who engage in harmful talk. Gossip, even if it starts innocently, can spiral into serious distortions of the truth, revealing the gossiper's own lack of loyalty and integrity. Engaging in gossip might feel like bonding over shared secrets, but it can lead to lowered moral standards and associations with deceit. Gossip thrives on the assumption that the subject will never hear it, but once spoken, those words can't be taken back. Stoicism advises that our words should embody honesty and integrity, as gossip damages not just the target, but also the character of the one spreading it. Gossip erodes trust and, over time, makes you question whether you can confide in someone who gossips. If they speak negatively about others, it's only a matter of time before they do the same to you. This realization breeds unease, as you can never be sure how they might misrepresent you when you're not around. Stoicism encourages focusing on what you can control: your integrity. By surrounding yourself with people who gossip, you risk compromising your own values, as their negativity can influence your behavior over time. While it may be tempting to defend yourself against gossip or retaliate, Stoicism suggests rising above the chaos instead of getting drawn into it. Cutting ties with gossipers helps you protect your peace and character. Gossip damages relationships and isolates the gossiper as others begin to avoid them, knowing they can't trust them with their secrets. True strength lies in honesty and integrity, rather than manipulation. Gossip fosters division instead of understanding, leading to misunderstandings and rifts. Stoicism reminds us to avoid the drama that comes from others' negative behaviors. By choosing to distance ourselves from gossip, we maintain our peace and character. Even small rumors can escalate, impacting how others perceive you. Stoicism teaches us not to let external events disturb our inner calm, yet the sting of betrayal from gossip can be hard to ignore. It's tempting to retaliate when falsehoods circulate about you, but true strength is found in restraint and maintaining your honor. People who gossip often reflect their own insecurities. By tearing others down, they try to elevate themselves, which is destructive. Stoicism encourages us to focus on building our own character instead of getting involved in the negativity of others. Relationships should be based on trust, not fear of gossip. Those who engage in slander may present their actions as concern, but their true motives often involve stirring drama. Recognizing this behavior allows us to distance ourselves from it. Being around gossipers can damage your own integrity. You might feel complicit simply by association, which can undermine your reputation over time. Stoicism advises being mindful of the company you keep, as their behavior can influence you. Cutting ties with gossipers protects not just your reputation, but your mental and emotional well-being. The effects of gossip can linger, causing ongoing damage even after the rumors fade. While Stoicism teaches not to dwell on others' opinions, it's still essential to protect yourself from those who seek to spread negativity. By refusing to engage with slanderers, you uphold higher values and align with principles that promote peace and honor. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of maintaining inner peace amid external chaos, which can be disrupted by gossip. Another exhausting form of manipulation is self-victimization, where individuals draw you into a cycle of complaints and blame shifting. These individuals often refuse to take responsibility, expecting others to carry their burdens. Stoicism highlights that personal responsibility is key to resilience, but victimhood drains both their energy and yours. Self-victimized individuals often appear helpless, presenting themselves as victims of life's unfairness. Over time, it becomes clear that every situation is another chapter in their ongoing saga of suffering. They seek sympathy and support without making any effort to resolve their issues, creating an unbalanced dynamic. Engaging with someone who perpetually plays the victim can feel like a tightrope walk. No matter how much you try to help, they dismiss your support, which can lead to frustration. Their dependency on others for validation can become manipulative, using their struggles to garner attention, while neglecting to address their root causes. Stoicism teaches that strength comes from facing challenges with resilience and responsibility, whereas self-victimization sidesteps accountability. This creates a toxic relationship where you feel responsible for their well-being, even as they refuse to take necessary steps toward improvement. So stay away from negative people and negativity. Don't hesitate to end that relation. Just take a deep breath and say goodbye to negativity, and welcome positivity in your life.